Today, I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown, reveal the comics I bought this week, and, if I screw up, blooper reel. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Clint's Comics here in Monroe, Louisiana. And while you're watching this, it's Thanksgiving. If you're watching this and you have family over, if you're over at family's house, stop watching! Eat dinner with your family, then watch the show. Are you nuts? I mean, heck, when I go over to my sister's house tomorrow, I'm not going to be reading comics. I'm going to be eating and spending time with my family. Besides, that's one of the few things Thanksgiving is about. Family and food. Plain and simple. But happy Thanksgiving. As y'all can see, I'm wearing this Thanksgiving-themed Comic Hero tee. And to go along with it, this Dallas Cowboys hat. Now, y'all probably wondering, why in the world are you wearing a Dallas Cowboys hat? We thought you were a Saints fan. Well, I am. Only difference is, my father, God rest him, I don't care what anyone says, he was the greatest Dallas Cowboys fan who ever lived. And wearing the hat in memory of him, I cheer for the Cowboys every Thanksgiving, no matter what. Although, back in 2010 when they did play the Saints, 2010, but anyway, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, last week's episode, I asked, which U.S. state is Smallville located in? Well, the correct answer is Kansas. And 11 people have answered correctly, and because they answered correctly, they've entered their names in drawings. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode is... Wow. Okay. Two things. Well, three things, actually. Well, no, two. I said one of them before. But the person who won a tee is somebody who has already won a tee. And not only that, they happen to be here in the store right now. Mike Hart from Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Mike. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right, now here's the question for next week's episode. And this is a real easy one if you happen to be anywhere between my mom's age and my age. Who played the lead role in the Wonder Woman TV series from the 70s? Nobody answer. If you're going to answer, wait till I'm off camera. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee in next week's episode. All right, now Brian Ferguson from Athens, Louisiana has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one is full of rage and holy sand. Representing Jets Comics, we have Guts, and representing Image Comics, we have Hellboy. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Guts versus Hellboy. Guts possesses superhuman strength, physical resilience, a soul-devouring inner beast, a mysterious immunity to the concept of fate, a high pain tolerance, an overwhelming will and rage, an incredible strategic mind, and can quickly adapt and improvise to various situations. He also wields a massive sword called the Dragon Slayer. Hellboy possesses superhuman strength and endurance, healing factor, longevity, extensive knowledge of the supernatural, invulnerable right hand of doom, which serves as the key to the end of the world, innate capability to comprehend magical languages, and immunity to fire and lightning. Who will win? This fight would take up an entire state. There will be lots of punching until Guts catches Hellboy off guard and cuts off his tail with Dragon Slayer. Hellboy can only say one word. Pathetic. He grows his tail and the fight continues. Guts, becoming frustrated, begins to beat up on Hellboy. He then tries to take Hellboy out with Dragon Slayer again, but Hellboy blocks it with his right hand of doom. Hellboy then uses the right hand of doom and takes out Guts. Hellboy wins. But wait! Guts can't really die because he's immune to the concept of fate. Hellboy is completely stunned, and Guts summons the inner beast within him and attempts to eat Hellboy's soul. No avail. Hellboy then says, "You're such a dumb kid. I'm a demon. I can't die. Go home and sit on your mom's lap or something." Guts then says, "Fine, but I'm not going home. I'm going to find something else to kill." This fight ends in a draw. And that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. And if you have a request for a fight in future episodes, contact info is down there. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is Civil War II number 7. This is the penultimate chapter, or the next to last chapter of this book. And let me tell you, it is amazing. It all started out when there was this Inhuman by the name of Ulysses who had the power to see possible future events. And for the most part, you know, Captain Marvel wanted to use him as a weapon, whereas Iron Man was like, no, that's not a good idea. It's possible. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Well, the first thing he sees is Thanos causing trouble and destroying the entire Marvel Universe. Well, there are some members of Marvel superheroes that go up in space, and unfortunately, War Machine dies. And She-Hulk gets gravely injured. And then a war breaks out between the two. But then he ends up having this vision, seeing this possible future event of Hulk destroying everyone in the Marvel Universe. Well, they end up going to Banner, knowing that he's no longer gamma radiated, but figuring, okay, he may not have any gamma radiation in his DNA, but we're not taking any chances. So they bring the whole house. They bring a combination of Marvel heroes and S.H.I.E.L.D. And by request of Bruce Banner, Hawkeye kills him. Shoots an arrow straight to the brain. And then a lot of things happen, and then Ulysses ends up going to the Inhumans. And then he ends up having seeing a future event of the Miles Morales Spider-Man possibly killing the Captain America Steve Rogers, or the OG Captain America. And it's, of course it doesn't happen. But you know what, I'm kind of really curious as to what's going to happen in this issue, and then in number 8, which is to come later on. But this is a continuation of Civil War II. All right, next up is Teen Titans number 2. This is the second issue of the series, and in the first issue, well, really I had to go back to Teen Titans Rebirth. Robin ends up, or should I say Damian Wayne Robin rather, ends up kidnapping Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire, and Kid Flash. And he does this because he feels that there's a need for a new Teen Titans team, because he felt like the other one was dysfunctional, but he saw good in them. So that's kind of weird. He sees good in them, but at the same time, he ends up taking guerrilla tactics and kidnapping them. And the only reason that he wants to do it because he knows that the return of his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul, is at hand. All right, next up is Titans number 5. Now in the last issue, Abracadabra makes the New 52 version of Linda Park disappear, just as Wally was getting to know her. And it's up to not just Wally, but the rest of the Titans. Now, keep in mind, this is the Wally from the pre-Flashpoint DC universe, or as I like to call it, the original DC universe. And he and the Titans are going to, they found, Omen ends up finding three possible locations where Abracadabra could be. And not only that, but fake younger versions of the Titans. And they all go. But then he ends up capturing all. Abracadabra ends up capturing all the Titans, with the exception of Wally, and tells Wally, "You have minutes to save them, or they're going to die." He said, "I will save them all." He's like, "Okay, we'll see about that." And this is a continuation of that. And speaking of the Flash, next up is Flash number 11. Now the Flash and Kid Flash are going up against this new villain called the Shade, and it's not looking good, folks. And this is a continuation of that. All right, next up is Green Lantern, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 9. This is part 2 of Bottled Light. Now, I'm still a little behind on this book, but as soon as I get caught up, I'll let you know what happens in future episodes. But what I can tell you right now is that the Hal Jordan ends up returning. He ends up going back into space after being on both other parts of space and then Earth. And he was on Earth for a long time, wielding the Green Lantern Gauntlet. And then, but then meanwhile, all the other members of the Green Lantern Corps were lost in space and time, but they come back. And they all come back to find out that at the center of the universe where Oa once stood, Sinestro set up shop on World, which used to belong to Mongol, and is now the headquarters of the Sinestro Corps. And they're trying to be a peacekeeping task force. And of course, if you're a Green Lantern, you think that's a whole bunch of garbage. Well, Hal Jordan gets captured, and they tried and ends up having the Parallax entity all attempted to. He gets cut open, and they almost put the Parallax entity inside of him, but Ceramic Nortrude's like, heck no. You're not doing that to him. He's already been through that again. He doesn't need to go through that again. Before he doesn't need to go through that again, excuse me. And she saves his life, and then tries to convince Hal that not all Sinestro Corps members are bad. That's just those that are under the influence of Sinestro. And then Guy Gardner gets kidnapped, and they try to cleanse him of all the will and instill him with fear. In other words, they're trying to make him into a Sinestro Corps member. I mean, it's bad enough this guy has he has been a Green Lantern Corps member. He has been a member and the leader of the Red Lanterns. Now this, I don't think it's going to stand. And then finally, Action Comics number 968. This is part 2 of Men of Steel. All right, see you later, Mike. And in this part, well, all right, for starters, this is the pre-Flashpoint Superman and the New 52 version of Lex Luthor. Now, of course, because he's Lex Luthor, the new 52 version is. I mean, the pre-Flashpoint Superman isn't going to trust anything he says or does. And yeah. All right, that's 6 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,566. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and here's the question for a free tea for next week's episode. Which actress played the lead role in the Wonder Woman TV series from the 70s? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tea in next week's episode. And congratulations again to Mike Hart, who just left for winning a free tee. Or better yet, not congratulations to him, but congratulations to his wife. Off camera, I promised him that I would make it, because I already made a shirt for him, I would make a shirt for his wife as well. So, Mrs. Hart, you're welcome. All right, and I'm serious, folks, what I said at the beginning. If you are watching this show and you have family over at Thanksgiving, or you're over at, I mean, you should be, are you over at families for Thanksgiving? You should be ashamed of yourself. Wait till after everyone's gone, or wait till after you get home, and then you watch it. I mean, when I go over to my sister's house, to watch, for Thanksgiving, because we're gonna be talking, we're gonna be eating, we're gonna be watching some football, we're gonna be doing all that. But I'm not gonna have a single book with me while I'm there, because holidays like these are supposed to be about family and food. Case closed. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, Friday and Saturday, over here at Clint's Comics, Black Friday sale. Now, unfortunately, because I'm going to be on the other side of North Louisiana, I'm not going to be able to be here. But I encourage anyone who's watching this, come on out. Claire will be happy to see you. All right, well, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 141, right back here at Clint's Comics. Oh, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I want to thank James Gunter over at Southern Realms Comics and Collectibles in Ruston for allowing me to do a Comic Hero Show Extra this past weekend. I want to thank him and his wife Jennifer. They were very generous, and
I figured it was going to have the stench of the high price book.
And hopefully one day I'll be back.
Deathbacks, they did it. They danged it on the.
Oh, and also, I'm going to be over at BC Comics in Bossier City this weekend to do another Comic Hero Show Extra. So, right after you watch this, watch Comic Hero Show Extra. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week. Well, really, I'll see you in a few days for a Comic Hero Show Extra over at BC Comics and back here at Clint's Comics for episode number 141. So till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt. Bring your comic. Oh, shoot.
Magic. Yeah.
You buying Magic?
I just pulled that out.
All right, well.
Yeah, cool.
All right, in last week's episode, I asked, what U.S. state is Kansas? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And here's the question for the week for next week's episode. I can do better than that.